Hello everyone. So we are now in our big packet, page 29. We're just going through and practicing a few more of reading these graphs together. So again, sometimes we want to focus on describing the graph, so the shape, the center, and the spread. And sometimes we just want to look at the graph and just answer questions about that particular graph, that particular shape. So in this case, again, it's a histogram. This is a histogram. Sorry, I'm on page 29 in the big packet, 29. And here it's a histogram that shows the number of TV hours that students watched last week. So, some people watched from 1 to 5 hours, 6 to 10, 11 to 15. And again, I just want to stress the numbers at the bottom, that there are a total of 5 numbers in each category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 numbers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 5 numbers. And so what I'm afraid is some people always subtract, and when you don't get the same amount each time, you think that it's not correct. So, 5 minus 1 is 4. There's not 4 numbers in here. That's the difference between 5 and 1. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers in there. So just a quick heads up. So first, let's just go through and kind of describe the different things about the shapes, and then we'll probably add some things. So remember, on our cheat sheet, as far as the shape goes, one thing we might look at is it symmetrical or bell-shaped? And so if we go to the middle, the middle between 1 and 35 hours is somewhere right here in that like 17 range. If I went to the middle, then the left side does not match the right side. So it's definitely not symmetrical or bell-shaped. So I'm actually going to cross this off. So instead what I see is most of the information is here on the left, okay? But then I've got this like extra tail, as we call it, over here, and the tail is on the right side. So where it says skewed left, we're actually going to change that because it's actually skewed right, okay? Let's see, what else could we talk about? So the next thing besides is it symmetrical or is it skewed as far as the shape goes is how many peaks does it have? Is it one peak, unimodal with one mode, bimodal, or uniform? And I have one clear peak here, so it is uniform. So it's not bimodal. It's unimodal. I think I said uniform. So I'm going to circle that and cross out the other. So B and F would be my more particular things to do. So now we'll talk about the other things. So how many students watched 11 to 15 hours? This is somewhere in between 15 and 20. So, this would be more approximate. You might not have the same answer as me, but I'm going to say, maybe it's 17 students. And again, don't forget to always use a unit of measurement after the number. What is the mode of hours watched? What do most people watch? That's the 6 to 10. Now, I don't know in particular if it's 6 or 7 or 8, so we'll just put that range of numbers that they're saying. Sorry, not 6 to 8, 6 to 10 hours. What is the most amount of hours watched? So most is not this. This is what most people did. Most hours watched is here. So anywhere from 31 to 35 hours. If you just said 35 hours, I think that would be okay. But, I actually don't know if there was anyone who watched 35 hours. I just know, since this is a range of 5 numbers and I have to keep that consistent, that, maybe in this bar that it was actually 32, 33, not necessarily 35 hours. What is the least common amount of hours watched? So that's the one that very few people did. So I'm looking for the lowest frequency or the lowest height, and that's the 26 to 30. Not as many people watched 26 to 30 hours. What is the range of hours? So again, I would say the biggest value is 35, the smallest is 1. So if I just subtract that, that would be 34 hours. And again, range is on our cheat sheet. And then the median. What is our middle amount at? So the thing with this is, I can't actually see the median because I don't know all the data points that went into making up this bar graph, but this is what I can figure out, okay? So if I want, since my graph is skewed to the right, and I look at my mean and my median, and my mode, right? Let me just underline some of these. Skewed right is, I would put then those inequality symbols that point to the right. And my mode is somewhere here with 6 to 10 hours, all right? So I could put that in there. And then supposedly my median should be greater than 6 to 10, and my mean should be even greater than that. So if this is my mode, I'll just write mode here, then that means if my median has to be bigger, maybe it's in this area, right? We could actually try to figure that out. So if I call this like category A, category B, C, D, E, F, A, oh, I didn't write that, A, B, C, D, hold on. E is this one, F will be this one, and G would be this one. I could actually take the time and figure that out. So, for instance, I might realize that in category A, 12, maybe 12, 13 people, so I could have like 13 A's. That's a lot of A's to write down. So I would start writing those down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm really messing up. I meant to be writing A's and I'm writing 13. So yeah, hold on. Sorry. Let me pause this. Okay, so I mean to be writing A about 13 times. So let's see. Let's put it up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I got 13. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm actually going to pause the video, get this written out, and just show you that what I'm doing with these inequality signs should actually pan out. So pause. I'm back. Thank God you say that you didn't watch me write all these down. So above these bars are what I'm estimating each bar's frequency to be. So hopefully I've written all these down, but I have 13 A's, a lot of B's, a good amount of C's, some D's, E's, F's, and G's. And so what I would do is I can clearly see that B's are the most often. So there's my mode, right? If I wanted to find the median, what I would start to do is work my way from smallest to largest, with the A's being the smallest and the B's being the largest. So there's a lot. So I'm going to cut down quite a few from this end, and this is the largest end. So maybe right now I'm going to take out 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I'm going to go to the other end and do 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now, you know what? I think I'm going to do like 10 more from each side. Now I just did 5. I'll do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so right now I can already see that my B's, all these B's are going to be in the middle. So as it turns out, the median is also somewhere in between 6 to 10. And it's okay that these are close again, because I don't know the exact numbers. Maybe, this is more like 7 or 8 and this is more like 9, and then supposedly the mean should be bigger than that. So the only thing I can guess is, at this point doing what I did, is that my median is 6 to 10 hours. That is not a fun thing to do, okay? I think a better question would have been, how does the mean compare to the median? That's what I would change it to. And I would say the mean is greater than median. So the tail pulls the median. So if the tail is on the right side, that means the mean is more on the right side, which means it's the bigger number, because bigger numbers are on the right side versus smaller numbers on the left side. How many students were surveyed? Well, I would just take all these numbers that I guessed at the top. So 13 and 35 and 17 and 6 and 5 and 3 and 7. Which I don't have a calculator in front of me right now, so I'm not going to add those up. but I just added what I estimated all of their frequencies to be. Okay, so that is problem 20, page 29. Let's jump to page 30. We'll see how many of these I can get through before the bell rings. So let's look at test scores. So we've already seen this graph before. We're just going to ask a few more questions about it now. So now here we're going to describe the shape. So if I go to the middle, in between 0 and 100, here's 50. That's the middle. Okay. Then does the left look like the right? And it sure doesn't. I definitely have a clear tail going on here. So it's not symmetric. It's not bell-shaped. It is, the tail's on the right side. I don't know why they keep putting just skewed left. It's actually skewed right. And then what I say, it's one mode, two modes, or no modes. I would definitely say one mode because of that peak there. So did anyone achieve the maximum score of 100? Maybe, I don't know if this line is flat on 0 or maybe it's 1. So possibly one student did, but again, I just can't see because, 0 to 10, it's hard to tell what's happening here. What is the range of scores? Well, if I look here, it just depends. Am I going to count, 100 possibly as being a score? Or maybe this is the score somewhere here. So let's just assume that it was at least one person who got the 100. So we'll say anywhere from 100 to 0. But again, I don't know if that's accurate because again, I don't know if this is 1 or 0. What is the mode? So that's this number that we talked about in class. Some said about 40, some said 42. I'll just go with about 42. What can you say about the test? Did the students find it difficult or easy? This was a tough test. And the reason why is because most students failed. Because passing is 60 or higher. And when I look at my table, so again, you can pause this, write it down. But when I look at my table, 60 and higher, that frequency is really low over here when I got a lot of people not passing. How many students took the test? How can you tell? Oh, I don't know how many students took the test. Okay? Because, for instance, there are all these scores in between 40 and 50. And so I could guess how many got this, but this would be very difficult to come up 40, 41, 42, 43. And know that. So I don't think I can answer that question. And what's the median? Again, I think the better way to ask this question is compare the mean and the median. So because it is skewed right, I would know that the mean is greater than the median. So again, I would change that question because when we do a showcase of learning, it's going to be compare the mean and the median. And so that's what we would do. When you know which way it's skewed, you can put that pointing that same direction. And then either the mean is greater than the median or smaller. They might be close, though. That's possible. All right. Let's go to 31. So on 31, we're actually going to take some scores. So below is the data from the Chicago Bears 2018 season. I'm not a Bears fan. So this was made by another teacher who is a Bears fan. And we are going to create a dot plot of the Chicago Bear scores below. Okay? So L means loss. W means win. So we want to create a dot plot of all their scores. So if they lost against the Packers, which usually happens, they would be the 23. If they won against the Seahawks, then they're the 24. They won against the Cardinals, so 16. Here's a win. Here's a loss. Here's a loss. That's a win. There's a win. So I'm figuring out which number I want. Here's a win. Win, win, loss. Win, 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 win. Looks like they had a pretty good season overall. So now I just kind of want to look at all my stuff. So when I look at their scores, I see a low score of 16. The lowest score I see is 14. So kind of addressing some of the things. My min is going to be 14. My biggest score that I see, I see 48. That's the biggest score. So I definitely want to get anywhere from 14 to 48. So as far as that range goes, which is a question down here, I would take 48 and I would subtract 14. And when I do that, I get 34. So could I get 34 numbers here? I think I can. So let's start with 14 here, 15, 16. So I'm going to pause and make those little dots. All right, I have way more space than I need. But I will put, 36, no I don't. Okay, I got to go further. All right, that's working for me. It's okay that I go over. This is just a suggested number line. So my lowest number is going to be 14. And then because these are really close together, what I don't want to do is put all the numbers. So I'm just going to label every, not every number. So here's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think I'm going to put 20 to make these really stand out. And then I'm just going to go every 5 after that. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There's 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and actually, wow, look how well that worked out, 50. I'm still going up by ones, but I'm not going to choose to label every number. So we're going to make our dot and whisker plot. So I'm just going to start with the numbers here. Here's 23. So a dot plot. Let's see. 24, 23. And then I have a 24 that follows it. I have a 16. So I'm just following these scores here. Here's my 48. 28, 30, 29. Then I have a 31 and a 24. And then I have a 41, and that takes care of my first column. And now I'm going to hit 25. I didn't get that 34, so let me get that 34 that starts. And so hopefully you're just able to do this as I'm doing this, just going through my list. Okay, so I think I got everything on there. Oh, I forgot my 14. All right, so let's talk about the data. So let's describe the shape, the center, and the spread. So this is our shape stuff, this is our center stuff, this is our spread stuff. So as far as the shape goes, most of the data is kind of like right here. And then I've got a some to the left and a lot to the right. So if I had to put a tail on one side because there's so much on the right, I'm going to say that it is skewed right. So that takes care of leaving out symmetric, leaving out bell-shaped, and it leaves out skewed left. Now I want to talk about how many modes there are. I just see one mode. It's unimodal. That happened to be 24, which now I could actually answer, what is my median? 24. My interquartile range, we can't answer this because we actually did not make a box and whisker plot out of it. We could have, but we did not do that. So we'll deal with that later. Well, actually, I take it back. Maybe we'll throw that in there in just a moment. So, sorry, I wrote the wrong one here. That's 24. Let me get rid of this. So if I want to find the median, what I would do is work my way from the left to the right. Okay? So I'm going to very lightly with the pencil just kind of mark off these X's. So 1, 2, 3 on the left, 1, 2, 3 on the right. Then I'll do 1 here, and I'll do this one. There's 2 here, and I'll take out this X and this X. So as it turns out, somewhere in here, actually right there, that is my median. So I didn't have to cross it off. My median is 24. Now, as far as the mean goes, what I would do is take all these scores, add them up, and divide by however many I added up. So I'm going to do that really quick, pausing it. Okay, so I added all my scores up. I got a total of 414. There were 16 scores that I added up, and so that is my mean. So 25, we'll write the whole thing down. Now, let's see if this thing about being skewed right holds true. So if I put my mean first, then my median, and then my mode, again, what we're more concerned about is the mean and the median. And if this is skewed right, like I'm saying it is, then my mean value should be greater than my median value. So if I fill these in, then that's true. My mode is the same. So again, we're not really concerned about the mode, but so I guess I could underline that. We're more concerned about how does the mean compare to the median. Okay, so even if you couldn't figure out the median, you would know that it's going to be bigger than the other one. I hope that makes sense. All right, I think that is going to be it as far as these video notes go. I think that's a good amount of practice because, again, in class, I really don't know how far we would have gotten with all of these. So let's see. Oh, there's still quite a few more. I think, well, maybe I'll make another video. You'll see. That's it. Bye.